Connecticut Voice Out Loud is proudly sponsored by Middlesex Health, Foxwoods Resort Casino, and Saybrook Inn Marina Spa.
Hi, and welcome back to the second season of Connecticut Voice Out Loud. I'm Hillary Russo. Today we're coming to you from Cine Studio, which is celebrating its 50th year of being an LGBTQ-friendly nonprofit cinema on the beautiful campus of Trinity College here in Hartford. If you're new to our show, our focus is on sharing inspiring stories from people all across the state who are part of the LGBTQ+ community. And whether you're part of the community yourself or an ally, Connecticut Voice Out Loud is here to not only touch, move, and inspire, but raise awareness through storytelling. Our first story introduces you to one young lady who's doing just that and making quite an impact. Ava Gold is a typical 14-year-old who enjoys most of what young girls do, but she knew something special about herself at a very young age. Ava is transgender, but also an activist for trans rights. Dawn Ennis sat down with Ava, who shared more about what it means to grow up trans and the importance of confidence and love.
I love shopping.
Tell me why.
You can express yourself through what you wear. It's like giving a statement. I love to draw. And I like looking at an image and not tracing it, but just looking at it and drawing it. I love cooking. I'll cook anything. If I'll try, you give me something to cook, I'll try and do it. But I like to cook like actual things like chicken or fish.
Being transgender means constantly having to advocate for oneself. But what about when you're a trans teen? Ava Gold is 14 years old, and she's been an advocate since age 2.
My mom knew that I was always, in my brain, I was a girl, and it didn't match what I was on the outside. So at 6, then I decided that I couldn't do it anymore. I had to transition. When I was 5, I think, I was getting teased daily about hanging with the girls, wanting to be a girl, playing with girl things, which I don't like that term. And it was hard. I would draw pictures of me with an X through me or my name with a cross through it. Around 5, I actually attempted suicide. So
That would have been pretty scary.
yeah. So there were good times, but there were also bad times too.
What did it mean for you that your parents accepted you when you said, I'm a girl?
To me, it showed that they loved me no matter what, and it just made me so happy.
I think my husband really struggled with it. It was really tough for him, and it took a long time. When people started really turning against us, like the school was not helping Ava, he really stepped up. And so
That's my kid, that's my child.
Exactly, yeah, and that was pretty much, the change. But I guess I always looked at Ava as Ava, so yeah, the name changed, but it's still the same person.
And we went to France, and my mom got me a shawl. And I had a shawl with my mom's friend who picked it out. And we were on the subway, and some lady came up to my mom and said, "Oh, what a cute, gorgeous little girl. Is she a model?"
How'd that make you feel?
Oh, it made me happy. I didn't really believe my mom at first because I didn't think anyone would think that I was a girl. I transitioned when I was in France at 6, like I said. So then I came back to school in 1st grade, and then there was just so much teasing and everything that I just switched schools. We went through a lot of trouble trying to do that, and my mom was a great advocate for me, and my dad stepped in and helped so much.
And so the studies show that having a family that cares about you really helps improve a child's development and their well-being. When she was able to, we got her blockers so that, it stops puberty. So blockers stop puberty. And, and if you stop them, then it just picks up right where you left off. And so I think that really helped and made a difference. And right now she's on hormones, which is really helpful because it's giving her more of the body that she identifies with. And she's been really happy about it, so that's good.
I like to go out, share my story to other people, so people know that they're not the only one, and so others know what it's like being trans. I went to a press conference and I spoke there. This would mean that trans people, like myself, would not have equal rights under the law. I do not believe that people being themselves should be treated as less than equal, especially in this country. It was nerve-wracking because I haven't ever done something that big. I would just be on like panels for therapists or stuff. I knew that I could do it, and you can do anything if you really want to or set your mind to it.
In all this time, have you ever really thanked your mom?
I have a wonderful mom.
For Connecticut Voice Out Loud, I'm Don Ennis.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Henry.
Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, is bringing his live show, An Evening of Hope, Healing, and Closure to you.
With his passing, his situation seems tragic too. I'm seeing Robin Williams for some reason.
Oh my God, that's his wife's name, Robin Williams!
Don't miss Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, Saturday, June 13th, Grand Theater at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Tickets at foxwoods.com, ticketmaster.com, and by phone.
He definitely has a gift.
It was amazing. It was so spot on.
Are you ready to party?
She is one of the most iconic artists of our lifetime. Janet Jackson, the Black Diamond World Tour, featuring brand new music and a special performance of Rhythm Nation. Janet Jackson, like you've never seen her before. Grand Theater at Foxwoods Resort Casino, Friday, July 17th at 8 p.m. Get tickets now at foxwoods.com. Check more at janetjackson.com.
As Connecticut's first Mayo Clinic Care Network member, we're bringing the world's most advanced treatments, knowledge, and research much closer to home for you. Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care.
Across the country, the LGBTQ+ youth makes up a large number of the homeless population. But closer to home, those numbers aren't much better. Marty Moran takes us inside one Connecticut center that's looking to make a positive change for their community and beyond.
Hi, I'm Marty Moran for Connecticut Voice Out Loud. Today we are in New Haven, Connecticut at Youth Continuum, where they are doing a lot of work to address the issue of homelessness among youth in the LGBTQ community. Let's go inside and find out more about this innovative organization.
What kind of services does Youth Continuum provide?
We have services for homeless youth ages 16 to 24, and we also work with young people who are leaving the state's child welfare system and sometimes the state's juvenile justice system. Those youth tend to be in the 16 to 21-year-old range. On the homeless youth side, we are doing everything from assessing their level of need, providing emergency and crisis kinds of interventions, which might mean medical care, being referred for medical care, psychiatric care, counseling, helping them find housing, providing them with emergency clothes, food, whatever they need to kind of stay stable until we can get them out of harm's way into permanent housing. Nationally, LGBTQ youth represent about 40% of the homeless population.
It's that high?
It is that high.
Wow.
In New Haven, we're seeing it somewhere between 25 and 30%. Of course, that's the people who self-report. We want to know only because some of the youth, particularly trans youth, prefer to have housing that is unique for them. As other youth may be shared housing where they're in an apartment with someone of the same gender. So trans youth sometimes feel uncomfortable in either situation, so we usually provide them with separate housing. When Youth Continuum was founded back in the 60s, it was started by two Yale professors. And one of the things that they hoped to do was to create a venue where students could give back to the community, who could find a way into the field and to participate in a meaningful life of the community, other than just if you excuse the word, but going to Yale and going to school.
Right.
And so here we are 50 some odd years later, and we're full circle where we've now provided that mechanism. So that's a really exciting piece. And a lot of times the students come to the realization that, wow, these young people are not very much different than me. If I didn't have the resources that I have, if I didn't have the supports in my family that I have, I could be in their position. And for the homeless young people, they look at that same thing from the other lens, which is that if I had some of their supports, if I had some of their financial resources, I could be going to Yale. I'm as smart as they are. I have a lot to offer here. And so it's really a fascinating thing, and I think it really does great things for both sides of the coin.
What are the risks to them if they don't get a little bit of assistance or some kind of services like what Youth Continuum
That's really
provides?
a great question. We actually see somewhere between 200 and 300 newly identified homeless young people every year. Some of those people are housing insecure. They may not be literally homeless, but they're on the verge of becoming homeless. So that's a huge number. We think that the number of people based on the annual point in time count that's done in Connecticut is probably somewhere between 600 and 800 youth who are homeless over the course of a year in the greater New Haven area. And the real issue for those young people is that the risks for them, if they don't get help, are extreme. They have a significantly increase of contracting HIV/AIDS, of getting involved in being in human trafficking, substance abuse, mental health issues, depression, anxiety, suicide attempts. It's really a very bleak picture for youth who don't come in. And one of the big issues for many young people is that because they've been so mistreated along the way, that they've had so many traumatic incidents in their lives, that they tend not to trust adults, and they don't trust the adult systems. And you know, one of the things that we struggle with all the time is that just the language that we use around homelessness. People talk about homeless people, but we try to change that wording and that kind of emphasis to say these are people experiencing homelessness. They're not chronically homeless. They're not going to be chronically homeless if we help. These are people who have had something or many things in their lives that have not gone well, and they're in dire straits, but they are normal. They're just like you and I. They're just like any other person on the street. They've gone through some very difficult times, and they just need a little hand.
There's a renovation and expansion plan. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. So one of the things that we're in the process of doing is planning to add a second floor to this site. It will be where the overnight crisis beds are housed. It's about a $4 million renovation. We've raised about $3.25 million so far. So we are continuing to look for additional resources to close that gap. But we're hoping to go out to bid sometime in the next month or two, and hopefully start construction by the end of the spring, maybe early summer.
So if somebody wanted to donate directly, how would they do that?
Well, they could certainly look at our website, youthcontinuum.org, or they can write to us or call me. We're definitely always looking for help with operating support.
Okay, yeah, we'll definitely put that up. Paul, thank you so much. We really appreciate you taking the time, letting us talk to you about Youth Continuum and the Y2Y program, and the great renovations that you have coming up.
Thank you.
A lot of stuff going on, a lot to look forward to.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
Still to come on Connecticut Voice Out Loud. An inside look at one physical therapy center that takes a holistic approach to pelvic health. And farm-to-table freshness comes with a view close to home. Plus, one group's anti-bullying message comes through music. We'll be right back.
At Middlesex Health, we're doing more to make healthcare better for you, with more personal attention to get you back to your best. And more of today's most innovative, life-saving treatments. We're bringing more second chances to communities throughout central Connecticut and the shoreline. And finding more ways to treat every member of your family like a member of ours. Together, it all adds up to the new Middlesex Health. Today's smarter choice for care.
Are you ready to party?
She is one of the most iconic artists of our lifetime. Janet Jackson, the Black Diamond World Tour, featuring brand new music and a special performance of Rhythm Nation. Janet Jackson, like you've never seen her before. Grand Theater at Foxwoods Resort Casino, Friday, July 17th at 8 p.m. Get tickets now at foxwoods.com. Check more at janetjackson.com.
Come for the sunset and stay for the sunrise. Experience the best in waterfront tranquility at Saybrook Point Inn, Marina and Spa. Enjoy water views, luxurious accommodations, and outdoor dining with a marina view. Join us on the terrace for live summer music or spend the day pampering yourself at our full-service spa. Check out midweek special packages at Saybrook.com and book now. Saybrook Point Inn, your place for rest and relaxation. Your seaside staycation awaits.
When it comes to physical therapy, pelvic health is one area that is usually overlooked by patients, especially within the transgender community. But one physical therapist and her team are doing their part to take a more holistic approach to what is called integrative manual therapy. Here's more on that story.
We're going to tie the TheraBand around just like you've been doing at home. How has it been going for you? Really well. Great.
It's just another day of physical therapy for Lillian Maisfeld. As a transgender woman, the kind of work she's doing during her visit was at one point the furthest from her mind. Maisfeld underwent gender confirmation surgery in 2018. It was then her doctors suggested pelvic health therapy to help with her healing.
What I found is, coming out of the surgery, all of a sudden, everything is brand new. Everything literally feels like it's in the wrong place because the parts are in different places than they were when you went in.
That's where physical therapist Lisa Gramlich stepped in. She's head of the pelvic health program at Middlesex, a program that started 9 years ago by Gramlich's mentor and friend, Carolyn Daniels. And once Gramlich joined Daniels, she knew she found a home. She says her focus is on the whole person by using a modality called integrative manual therapy, or IMT.
It takes you within the context of treating someone as an emotional, spiritual, and physical human being, because no injury or problem is just physical. There's always an emotional and spiritual component to it as well.
This approach also creates a safe space for patients to open up and talk about their concerns, from constipation and incontinence to intimacy pain and even gender confirmation surgeries like Maisfeld's. And for the transgender community, this trusting space is a passion for Gramlich. While many areas of pelvic health treatment are the same, it's not uncommon for the LGBTQ+ community to overlook this area of care. But Gramlich and her physical therapy team take a more holistic approach with hopes of breaking the barrier between practitioner and patient.
I have been in situations myself with physicians where I have been asked inappropriate questions, and I don't think I wouldn't have got that when I was married to a man, but being openly gay, I get those questions. So I can completely empathize with patients who come in who are LGBTQ+, and I think it creates a comfort level.
There is a kind of alone in the wilderness feeling that being able to come and do the pelvic health work physically also was a way of kind of making for a whole recovery that was less about something is wrong with you and needs to be fixed and more about your body is progressing through its process and you'll get there.
You're watching Connecticut Voice Out Loud, the first and only TV show in the state focusing on the LGBTQ+ community and the inspiring stories they share. Only on WCTX MyTV9, New Haven.
I'm Jackie Post. Coming up, a fresh addition to the Thursday menu at Foxwoods' top restaurant, View 24.
As Connecticut's first Mayo Clinic Care Network member, we're bringing the world's most advanced treatments, knowledge, and research much closer to home for you. Middlesex Health, the smarter choice for care.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Henry.
Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, is bringing his live show, An Evening of Hope, Healing, and Closure to you.
With his passing, his situation seems tragic too. I'm seeing Robin Williams for some reason.
Oh my God, that's his wife's name, Robin Williams!
Don't miss Tyler Henry, the Hollywood medium, Saturday, June 13th, Grand Theater at Foxwoods Resort Casino. Tickets at foxwoods.com, ticketmaster.com, and by phone.
He definitely has a gift. It was amazing. It was so spot on.
Come for the sunset and stay for the sunrise. Experience the best in waterfront tranquility at Saybrook Point Inn, Marina and Spa. Enjoy water views, luxurious accommodations, and outdoor dining with a marina view. Join us on the terrace for live summer music or spend the day pampering yourself at our full-service spa. Check out midweek special packages at Saybrook.com and book now. Saybrook Point Inn, your place for rest and relaxation. Your seaside staycation awaits.
Connecticut's newest sensation is CT Voice, giving a voice to the LGBTQ community in print and online. This is style, fashion, hot topics, and personal stories from award-winning writers every season. Go to ctvoicemag.com and follow us on social media.
Farm to table seems to be a growing trend at restaurants all over the world, but you don't have to travel too far to find the best of what locals grow. Jackie Post takes a seat at View 24 to see what's on the menu.
Here with the executive chef of View 24, Michael Yaffe. So tell me about this new delicious menu you have.
So in addition to our regular menu that we have, every Thursday we're going to be doing Local Taste Thursdays. So, you know, from farm, sea, land, everything. So we really wanted to support local farmers and local purveyors as much as possible.
And so what are some of those farmers that you're highlighting?
Tonight we have Hudson Valley Wagyu beef from New York. We have Ideal Fish from Waterbury, Connecticut. We have Cato Corner, Colchester, Connecticut. So Urban Valley Acres, they're in Connecticut as well with our greens. So a lot of great products, a lot of great people.
Thank you so much for having us, Chef. We really appreciate it. Can't wait to try your meals.
Great. It's my pleasure. Thank you for visiting.
We are here with Brian Eldridge from Urban Valley Acres. He is an urban farmer. Brian, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah, so first question.
Yes.
What is an urban farmer?
So an urban farmer, it's very similar to a regular farmer. Essentially, I just farm smaller plots of land. I only use a quarter acre of land, opposed to a traditional farmer that's many, many acres. In the winter, I use some heated greenhouses, but that's pretty much it. Essentially, the best way I describe it is a normal farmer puts two rows of carrots in a 30-inch bed. I put 12 rows of carrots in a 30-inch bed.
Okay.
That's how I get the maximized volume out of such a small space. I'm a tractorless farm, so I have a walk-behind BCS rototiller, but otherwise it's a lot of hard work.
Are you all by yourself?
It's myself and then my lovely girlfriend.
So tell me a little bit about when you got the call from Foxwoods.
So
what was that like?
It was pretty crazy. I was actually in my car driving to the farm with my girlfriend. And I was saying, hey, I just dropped some samples off at Foxwoods. I really hope, they call me. And I've been really trying to get in here. And sure enough, I said Michael Yaffe's name, and my phone rang. And it was him on the line. And he said, hey, we're doing a farm-to-table dinner. We'd love to showcase some of your product. And now I'm here.
That is awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
Cool. Brian, what a great story. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
We are here with Charles Heckrud from Hudson Valley Wagyu. He is a cattle rancher. Charles, thanks for being with us. We appreciate it. So tell me a little bit about your business.
So we raise Wagyu beef in New England.
Okay.
Wagyu is the same kind of beef as Kobe beef from Japan. It's the world's most sought after beef.
Okay.
We decided to bring it to New England, to New York, and start raising it for our local restaurants.
What's your backstory? How did you get into this line of work?
So I grew up in South Africa. I grew up on a farm in South Africa and moved to the US in 2003. And my first weekend in America, I went down to the local grocery store and bought a steak. and it was disgusting. It was not what I grew up eating.
Okay.
So right then and there, I decided that I was going to find a better steak. And that story has morphed into us having 760 Wagyu beef that we'll process this year.
Wow.
And several thousand more in the line behind that.
So you bought a farm and just decided to do this?
Our farm didn't just happen overnight. It took many years, and I stumbled across this crazy cow called Wagyu.
Interesting.
And the first time I ate it, I was like, right, we're in business, let's go.
All right.
So,
and here you are at Foxwoods.
17 years later, we're at Foxwoods, and we're going to sit down tonight and eat our own steak in a really nice restaurant.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for joining us and telling us your story.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's all the time we have for this edition of Connecticut Voice Out Loud. Thanks again to our friends here at CineStudio in Hartford for their warm welcome. And you can find out more about their events on our website at ctvoice.com. Now, from the screen to the stage, we leave you now with a few moments from Stand Up, the anti-bullying musical, a performance out of Sandy Hook that's paving the way for more empathy and connection through the arts. Until next time, I'm Hillary Russo. Be well.
Stand Up and Speak Out is a wonderful platform that helps children to literally be able to do that, to stand up and speak out and to connect with one another and to really voice their truths.
I am just so honored to be a part of the show and to be able to meet all these amazingly talented people. It has impacted my life so much.
Thankfully, I haven't experienced bullying that has really gotten to me, but I think it really made me realize why people bully and made me realize, even things, that I do that could be mean or something.
It's spreading love and humility. If we at least continue to send the message of love and hope, then I think that's a great thing, and that's what this play does.
I remember leaving yesterday and somebody telling me how much this touches lives in my part and how it really makes people cry and how it touches them. And I love hearing that because it makes me feel like I really just changed somebody's life.
Jill Nessie came up with the idea of a song about anti-bullying. She has teenagers of her own. And that song has grown into a musical. I'd like to introduce the group called Stand Up and Speak Out. They have a message for you today.
The energy was amazing. There was this buzz of excitement, and standing up there singing in front of 151 people who make the decisions that shape our world. It was amazing.
I'm still in belief that it's going to take a big movement from the youth to teach future generations that this is not cool, and that's what Stand Up and Speak Out is all about.
If we make an impact on one life, it's worth it.